Flora, we gotta go.
Sorry.
Welcome back to Supernova Traveler. If you are new around here, join our Travel Around the World family by subscribing, sharing, liking, and commenting. And if you are a returning member, please continue your journey around the world as we start another review of The Haunting of Bly Manor, The Jolly Corner, Episode 6. In this episode, as always, the past and the present collide seamlessly at Bly House. We delve into the stories of three main characters, Henry Wingrave, Flora, and Jaime the gardener. Since the episode was quite long and interchanging, I won't follow the episode, but the story of each character. The first story is Mr. Henry Wingrave. All this time, we have been wondering why this uncle never goes to see his niece and nephew. We find out that he is also being haunted, but by his inner self, his conscience. We get to follow his story of betrayal, lust, and lies. We meet Henry in his office, looking frustrated. The narrator tells us that for years, Henry has basically lived in his office. The secretary comes and relays a message from Danny in regards to the children.
Some things, nothing alarming, she says, but some things you may want to hear about.
No need. I'm happy the children are well.
And Henry disregards it. As the night moves along, we meet Henry's alter ego. And begin our journey down memory lane when Flora was first born. We watch as Mrs. Charlotte Wingrave's husband rushes back to Bly Manor to witness the birth of his new baby. The scene shows passing glances between Henry Wingrave and Mrs. Wingrave. Henry is hesitant to leave the room as his brother rushes to his wife's side. We advance to a moment when Flora saw her first ghost when she was about 5.
Who are you? I'm Flora.
But in the memory, she is 8. She is consciously aware that she is in a memory. She rushes to her mother's room and we see a scene that is very incriminating. Henry is found where he is not supposed to be, the bedroom of Charlotte. And now we officially know something is not right.
It's not. It's... Uncle Henry?
They return Flora to her bedroom and talk to her about the ghost boy. Of course, they think it is just an imaginary friend. We watch Flora's language change as she realizes she is in a memory, or realizing she is within a dream, but consciously knows it. She calls it being tucked away. Henry and Charlotte put Flora in the bed and revisit the present. Danny has reported that Flora has begun to sleepwalk, and all Henry wants to know is that there is no bodily harm. This scene was kind of a trigger for me because people focus a lot on bodily harm but fail to acknowledge mental health. We understand the body heals, but emotional and mental trauma chips away at you little by little if you never seek help or a mature confidant. It affects the whole of your quality of life. The scene slips back into the past, and we watch as Henry grasps at moments to speak with Flora.
Flora residence.
Well, hello, Flora. It's Uncle Henry. Well, I mean to say, have you seen that little boy again?
And is shocked to know his brother is home early. In the present, in the office, Henry is taunted by his alter ego about always turning a blind eye. They discuss Quint stealing $250,000 from Miles' trust, how Henry has not yet accepted the death of his brother or his brother's wife. It's so bad he hasn't informed all his clients 2 years later, and he is still sending people death notices. He goes back to the memories of the past, and everything is laid out for us so we can see the whole picture.
Don't know who you're trying to hide from. Might as well come in.
Henry and Charlotte had a romantic relationship unbeknownst to Dominic Wingrave. We see them kissing on the couch, opening our eyes fully to the relationship. as we watch the alter ego torment Henry, reminding him of the events that led up to the eventual death of Charlotte and Dominic Wingrave. We continue to see moments of Henry going above and beyond for his brother's family, buying Flora a beautiful replica dollhouse of Bly Manor for a 6th birthday, and on this day is when Dominic's world becomes upside down.
She was so early.
After 6 years of calculations, of suspicions, of denial, observation, Dominic finally confronts his wife.
Math didn't work, did it?
She tries to deny his accusation.
I don't know what you mean. I mean that if she wasn't early, she was actually right on time, that math wouldn't work.
But Dominic presses forward. She breaks down, and we have to read between the lines.
She kind of had to be early, didn't she? Or else it would mean she was conceived in August, while I was in Russia.
Dominic was away a lot for work. Charlotte had mentioned in the past episodes that she felt lonely and questioned when was enough enough? When is faith enough? In the end, we know that Flora is not Dominic's biological daughter. Henry is the father. Charlotte had an affair with 2 brothers. We return to Henry in his office in the present. And all throughout the episode, we see Henry's response to every time Danny calls in regards to the children.
On the phone.
Which triggers a memory of when Dominic finally confronts Henry about having an affair with his wife.
How fucking stupid. I don't. Babies rarely adhere to a schedule, Dom. She's my daughter, in every way that matters.
We now begin to understand why Henry does not go to Bly Manor.
When she skins her knee, calls out for the nightmare, it's me. First time some arsehole breaks her heart, I'll be there to console her.
Bly Manor is a place where he feels he found the love of his life in Charlotte, where he created Flora with her, where he betrayed his brother.
Your real self, he's an evil shit, grotesque little demon, isn't he? I pity you, because you have to live with him.
And it's a place that he was told not to return to. So he has guilt in regards to this place, and it's almost like honoring his brother's wishes at the same time.
You have to live with yourself. And he's a shit, grinning, fucking monster, isn't he?
And with that, Dominic flies off to India with his wife Charlotte to retrace their honeymoon, rekindle the marriage, and it is during that trip Henry gets a phone call, and it is not a good one.
Come on, there's nothing to be afraid of. You know who it is. It's the British consulate in India. No, they have terrible news. Please. There's been an accident.
In the end, after a trip down guilty memory lane and fighting with his alter ego, Henry has finally decided in his drunken state that he will take the 3-hour drive to Bly House because his intuition says something is not right. And we move into what is going on with Flora, and if Henry's too late. Flora wakes up outside, and Danny finds her walking through the grass in the early morning, and at this moment we realize that Miles is not the only one who is being possessed.
Flora?
We learn that the person haunting Flora is in fact Miss Jessel, and I think I mentioned that previously. So when Danny finds Flora in the middle of nowhere on Bly grounds, the ghost of Miss Jessel touches her and takes over Flora's body, changing Flora's disposition and tucking Flora away in another memory.
How long have you been out here?
I just woke up. I don't know.
While Miss Jessel has taken over Flora's body, Flora is tucked away in several memories. One memory is when she met the little ghost boy in the house, and another memory is of her mother when she went away to India. At that time, her mother taught her about making small talismans as a way of protection. When Flora finally awakes, she is frustrated, confused, and upset.
You've eaten dinner without me.
Wait, you already ate in your room. Owen made you soup.
I don't remember that. I don't like this game.
And in this moment, I realize that the children are being taken advantage of at their weakest moments. Danny puts Flora to bed, and out of the corner of her eye, she sees the little ghost boy playing with the dollhouse, but takes it as a trick of the eye. Flora begins to argue with Miss Jessel, saying how she doesn't like the game and does not want to be tucked away anymore.
I don't like this game. I'm very cross with you. I'm tired of being tucked away, and I'm tired of acting strange.
Danny overhears the talking and walks in on Flora speaking to the ghost of Miss Jessel, and the cat is out the bag.
What are you doing to me?
Flora?
So the cover-up begins. Now finally, an adult knows that something is wrong, and Danny tries to collect the children to escape, but is unsuccessful. I'm not going to go into too much of Jaime the gardener's story. She has a sordid family history.
That's a lot of work for a flower that only blooms once.
It's what people feel like to me. Exhaustive effort, very little show for it.
All of them?
All of them.
Her father was a coal miner. Her mother was a cheater. Neither was really around much. The children were separated to foster care, but she makes a point about people and the moonflower.
But plants, you pour your love and your effort and your nourishment into them, and you see where it goes. You watch them grow. And it all makes sense.
As a wrap-up, this show is more of a psychological thriller, with every character fighting their own demons, and those demons are their own desires, wants, guilt, grief. The children are caught in the middle of everything, and we learn that consciously they are barely ever there, as explained by Flora.
What's the matter with Miles?
Miles is perfectly splendid, except when he isn't.
Isn't splendid?
Isn't Miles.
Thank you so much for watching my review of Bly House. There is so much going on in this show and so many topics to dissect, but I'm trying to keep to the recap and the most important topics. This review can easily become 1 hour. But please comment, like, subscribe to my channel so you know when the next episodes are coming out. And I'm going to do something hopefully this weekend or before the month is up, saying which shows I plan to review this upcoming December. And if you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comment section.